Right, guys, here we are, MMA UK News. Obviously, myself, Stoomboy, as always, MMA UK BJJ show. Sporting a new look, as you can see, obviously freshly shaven, so looking good, feeling fresh. So, going to be talking to, obviously, one of my favourite up-and-coming Scottish fighters. So, Yusuf Kurt coming out of Crown and Glory MMA. Yusuf, as we're going to hear, this will be coming in. This will be his third amateur MMA fight. So first two, obviously, Evolution of Combat. Come through his first one, absolutely perfect performance. Went into the second one, obviously, against Harry Welsh in the last one. And then it was a tough fight for him, but again, got the victory, as it was a pretty dominant fight from start to finish. For him. Obviously, he came out with an injury at that one as well. So if anybody watched the post-fight interview, you would have seen him hobbling about and stuff like that. So, but he's managed to get that sorted. So he's going to be fighting at Rise and Conquer on Sunday, the 28th of November. So next Sunday, or a week on Sunday, going to be up against McKenzie Widow. So again, promises to be another good fight for Yusuf. So we're obviously looking forward to seeing what he's going to be doing. So this will be the first fight, Yusuf, that I'm not going to be at to watch you. Gutted, mate.
Yeah, be my bad luck charm, man. Come on.
But no, listen, wherever you go, if I'm there or not, man, you're going to put on an absolute performance. So, how you been anyway? How's everything going with you?
Oh, I've been fine. I'm not sporting the same look, as you can see. Kind of needing to tidy it up a bit.
Definitely. Listen, you'll have that tidied up for next weekend, definitely. So,
We hot shave.
And then what about, because obviously we've seen you at the last Evolution of Combat, so obviously against Harry Welsh. Harry gave you a good fight, but I mean, you seem, I mean, especially when you went down to the ground, you were in complete control from start to finish. I mean, how did you feel? Obviously the injury, take the injury out of it, but how did you feel after that fight?
I felt alright. I felt I could have done a wee bit better, but I felt alright. Yeah, it was. Harry's got some good get-ups. Like, he's pretty good at getting up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You get him done, he's getting up. Yeah.
Yeah. And that was the thing. I mean, your takedown after takedown, and then, as I said, Harry done well getting back up again and stuff like that. And then there was obviously some good pictures of you with him, some head kicks as well, some absolute beautiful pictures.
I've still not posted that one.
Aye. And it reminds you the picture in the background. You look at the picture in the background there, Anderson Silva.
Yeah,
maybe not the front kick like that, but one of the head kicks was absolutely beautiful picture. I know that Cindy.
Everybody else except for me.
And then obviously the injury. Obviously you got an injury. Obviously a foot injury. I mean, what was the outcome of that then? So I know that you mentioned you had to go away, get an operation and stuff like that.
Yeah, just a few days staying in hospital. Wasn't that funny? You know what I mean? A bit miserable.
Yeah.
Needles,
hospital food then. No like the hospital food.
Oh no, I got my mum to bring in hundreds of stuff. Tubes of Pringles and stuff.
Yeah, nice. And then obviously you're up on your feet again. So obviously you mentioned obviously you were only out for a few weeks, and then obviously back to training again.
Yeah. It wasn't that fun going straight back to training. I got a few like niggles and that in the foot. It was weird, but it started getting a wee bit stronger and better. Yeah.
So what, you 100% or close to 100% now then? So no kind of feeling or anything like that in the foot now?
Nah, it was scar tissue area. That's fine.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, definitely. Then we mentioned your mum as well, so obviously we were having a laugh before we came on air. Obviously I was there. Your mum was obviously in front of me, obviously as your fight was going on, and she was an absolute bag of nerves, as she always is.
Yeah. It was shame.
Yeah, I had to remind her as well. I kept reminding her, I'm like, no, he's doing well, he's fucking winning, he's all right. And she's like, no, I can't watch this. And but she was absolute bag of nerves. But obviously, when you obviously got your hand raised at the end, she was over the moon, absolutely over the moon.
She was ahead of it my first fight, man. It was funny. We got a video for the audiences. So they're going, oh no, what's happening?
It's tough though. It's tough for a parent. I know that my boy, when he does jiu-jitsu competitions, and it's tough to watch as a parent. Obviously, your kid going out there, but I mean, obviously the gym you come out of, you guys are trained to a high level. So, so going into the fight, obviously the fight's the easy part for you.
Kind of half and half, right? I wouldn't say it's that easy. They're not the funnest thing to do, but they're right.
Yeah, it's a lot easier than training though, because obviously you're training. I mean, you're putting in a training camp for weeks, and then obviously you get to the fight, three rounds done and dusted. So a lot easier than that. Obviously, it's no good getting punched in the face and stuff like that. But
I'm used to that now. Like I've gotten used to that. This is normal.
Yeah, and then what about obviously Rise and Conquer? So this will be, as I said, your first, obviously the first MMA fight not under Evolution of Combat. So obviously we went to Rise and Conquer. I mean, how quickly when did you find out you were going to be on Rise and Conquer?
I think it was already scheduled before the Evolution of Combat fight, right. Like the number 9.
Yeah,
I think it was because there was a few guys for the gym that were going to be fighting, but they had like some pullouts and stuff, and they're the only guy fighting. It's no fun. But yeah, it was like, I think it was August.
Yeah, so you kind of knew obviously before Evolution of Combat. So how much of, because obviously the injury that happened at Evolution of Combat, how much of that worried you then leading up to Rise and Conquer? Because obviously you're going to be on Rise and Conquer, and then suddenly obviously you got the injury at Evolution of Combat. So how much did that affect you? Or did you think about that at all, or was it a case of just getting better and then being ready for it?
I thought it was going to take a little longer to heal, because the doctors were saying that I was going to have like long-term like effects, yeah. But it was pretty fine at the start of October.
Yeah,
the start of October was when it was like, I'm fine now.
Yeah, and you're young as well. I mean, obviously injuries like that. I mean, obviously being young, you're going to bounce back from it a lot quicker than like an old man like me.
No, I feel like an old man. Like, I do feel like an old man. I do amazing a 50-year-old. Trust me.
Yeah. And then obviously your opponent, as a tough opponent, McKenzie Widow. So obviously McKenzie's been around for a while, obviously Jujitsu and stuff like that as well. So, I mean, what do you know? Do you know much about McKenzie at all? Or again, is it just the same for you? Just concentrate on your own game and never mind anything else?
I watched a few of his fights, yeah. Obviously, I'm not just going to go in not knowing what the hell's going to happen. I want to know a few details, but yeah, I watched a few of his fights on YouTube, and pretty good.
He's all right. Obviously, what was he at the moment? The IMAF, what did we say? The under-18 bantamweight at the moment, obviously ranked number 1. Again, obviously, we were talking about this beforehand. Obviously, he's one fight, I believe. So, obviously, the IMAF rankings are a little bit different. So, so apparently, yeah, ranked number 1, which is fine. I mean, you go in, you beat him, you're then number 1 bantamweight in the UK.
That'd be pretty good, but then there'll be other people saying that they're number 1, and that'll be annoying.
Nice. And then what about you? I mean, what's next then? So obviously it's been a quick 3 fights for you. Obviously a quick turnaround of 3 fights. So obviously one in August, one in September, and then obviously this one in November. So are you going to chill out for the rest of the year?
Definitely. I'm wanting to hear a decent Christmas. decent month is just chilling out.
So nothing at all. Obviously, you still be training and all that as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Probably no as like intense fight camp kind of way, but come in every day, hit the bag. That'll be it. 2 punches, I'm done.
And then what do you see yourself doing next year then? So obviously next year, now that we're properly open, we've got a load of competitions, a load of fights coming up. So what's your plans for next year then? What do you see yourself doing?
Obviously I'll fight a fair few times. I was able to fit in a lot of fights, so probably try and do even more. I'm kind of want to do some no-gi jits comps, because I was meant to do a few 2020, But they all got cancelled because of COVID, and I was raging.
Yeah.
Still got my money back though, so that's fine.
I know you were going down. You were talking about going down to, or well, when we spoke the last time at the post-fight interview, you were talking about doing the one in Newcastle, but obviously the injury kind of
Yeah, that didn't happen. I was kind of looking forward to that, but it was not going to happen.
Aye. So obviously,
I was thinking, see the the Scottish Open that happened in Glasgow. I was thinking last minute, maybe.
Yeah.
But I've not got a gi, so.
So listen, anybody that's what size are you in a gi?
I don't know.
You'll be bantamweight, so you'll be like what height are you?
Like 5'8", 5'9" ish.
You'd probably be an A1 then, so you would be an A1. So listen, to any gi manufacturers out there,
get some free stuff.
hit up your boy, man. Give Yusuf some, whether it be no gi or
Venom or Tatami, please.
So listen, hit your boy up, man. As I say, this boy's definitely going places. As I say, 2-0 as an amateur at the moment. So obviously going into his third one next Sunday. So obviously, hopefully we'll be seeing a 3-0 coming out of that. So and then obviously next year you're going to have things like Evolution of Combat coming up again, and I know that On Top we'll be looking to do some some fight nights as well. Obviously things like Olympus, Almighty. All these shows. So again, are these going to be shows that you're going to want to get on, or get on as many as possible?
Yeah, I was watching the Olympus and Almighty ones. I think October and September. They were like pretty good shows, so I'm kind of hoping to fight on them.
Yeah.
And On Top, obviously, is pretty legendary in Scotland.
Yeah, well, listen, On Top, I know that On Top will have shows. Obviously, they didn't want to put any on this year because of, obviously, just come out of COVID and stuff like that. So I think it was a little bit early for them to put on a show. So I know that next year, On Top will definitely have some shows. And obviously, your coach and stuff like that they know the guys at On Top anyway. So fingers crossed they get you on that one as another great local show. So and then kind of last thing for you then, Yusuf. So obviously we're going to see what you're going to do next Sunday. But anybody you want to shout out to? I know that you shout out everybody every time we speak anyway, but anybody you want to give a
can never think of somebody in particular. There's never somebody in particular. It's always just everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So no special person you want to give a shout out to at all?
Nah, just everybody.
Give a shout out to your mum. Your mum, as I say, definitely your biggest
fan. Shout out to Angie, and I'll get barred for that.
But listen, your biggest fan, your mum, as I said, she was definitely the biggest fan. She was the loudest person there at Evolution of Combat 9. So
no, she wasn't. She wasn't.
There was a few, but yeah. No, I love it. As I say, especially because I speak to a lot of guys where the mums or the dads and stuff like that are there, and it's always a special feeling. Do you know what I mean? It's always a special feeling, especially when you get your hand raised and you come out at the end. And obviously, you came out and gave your mum a big hug and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? So it was. It's always brilliant to see that. Always brilliant to see that. So, so guys, listen, Yusuf Kurt is going to be up against McKenzie Widow Sunday, the 28th of November. Rise and Conquer. Rise and Conquer do have, I believe, they're going to have a live feed for it. So I'll be able to post up, obviously, any costings and stuff like that. So anybody that's want to watch Yusuf, as I say, definitely look out for Yusuf. As I say, definitely one of the rising stars in Scottish MMA at the moment. So Yusuf, looking forward to seeing you again, buddy.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to Sunday.
Nice. It's always a pleasure talking to you, buddy. Always a pleasure. So, and definitely get that shaved. Get that shaved for next Sunday.
It's just because of work, man. Come on.
Bro, well, listen, thank you again, Yusuf. Enjoy next Sunday, and I'll speak to you soon, buddy. All right.
Thank you.
Take it easy, buddy.
I'll see you there.